Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel and another day of eating for me. I've been quite busy today so far and I'm not feeling very hungry. It's almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon and I've decided to go with some yogurt, a banana, and a brown pear for my sort of brunchy lunchy. Because I'm not thinking I'm going to have lunch today. I'll probably just move everything forward to dinner. But we'll see. So for now I'm going to have this. And the yogurt is the non-fat Greek and that is free in protein on plan. The pear is speed food and the banana is a free food. In this blue flask, I have a cup of pumpkin spice coffee with some of my first healthy extra A almond milk. And I've seasoned up or spiced up my fruit and yogurt with some ground cinnamon and vanilla powder. If you've not tried this and you love vanilla, this is vanilla heaven. You can get it on Amazon. And in the black flask, I have some electrolytes to keep me going during the day and water. Always trying to get that water in. So I'm off to enjoy this now. I decided that I was going to make my own version of beef barley soup. I took the idea from Nicky In A vlog. She made a lamb barley soup for our collab. And so I'm doing this as an offshoot of that video because I never follow recipes anyway and we don't eat lamb. So thank you, Nikki, for giving me the idea to make this because yours looked delicious. So I hope mine comes out half as good. Anyway, here I had a London broil that I had previously frozen. I cut it up, I took off all the fat, and that is about maybe 1.25 pounds of meat. On this side of the cutting sheet, I have a half of a boneless, ready cooked ham steak. And if I remember, I'll put a picture of it in here so you know which brand it is because off the top of my head, it's not coming to me. What else is new? In this bowl, I have sauteed a good hefty tablespoon of lazy garlic along with 2 small onions that I chopped, just regular brown or we call them yellow onions here where I live. In here, I have 1 sad chopped carrot. I had 2, but 1 went bad. Sadly, I have baby carrots I might add in later. We'll see how I feel later on while this is cooking. And in here, I have 2 small leeks that I sliced up. I'm going to add in some of this to add some of that smoky flavor. I picked this up at a festival that Jim and I went to recently. It's Tastefully Simple Company, Bacon. And it tastes really good on potatoes, so I'm thinking I might add some of this in. I've already seasoned my meat with Himalayan pink sea salt, some freshly ground black peppercorn, and some roasted garlic seasoning. I sprinkled over top of the beef some Wonder flour. Now, Wonder flour is 110 calories per quarter cup, so I'm not quite sure if I need to say anything on this, considering this is probably going to be more than 6 servings of soup. I don't think I even use a tablespoon. I like to use Wonder flour whenever I'm going to brown meat because it seems to make it easier to get it nice and caramelized brown. What I will add in later, in addition to beef broth, is some liquid aminos. And I have used a tablespoon of the extra virgin olive oil to coat the pan and to cook the onions and garlic so far. So I'm going to throw this into that pan once I heat it up again. And then I'll show you the next steps as we go along. Pan is starting to sizzle, so before I burn the bottom of the pan, I'm going to throw in my meat. And throw it around and cook it down until it gets nice and brown. And then I will be back again. So I cooked down the beef and ham for about 10 minutes, kept stirring it. I also sprayed it with some olive oil cooking spray in between because it was quite watery. And I wanted it to dry up a little bit without sticking. I've added in the carrot, the leeks, the onions, and the garlic. And the next thing I'm going to do is add in the beef broth. I have 2 quarts of beef broth. This is the fat-free reduced sodium brand, type. And then I also am going to be adding in, these are 4 small white potatoes that I peeled and cut up. I'll refrigerate these now in water so they don't turn. And later on, maybe the last half an hour before the soup is done, and I let the soup cook for a really long time because I don't want the beef to be tough. So I will add these in at that point in time. And the barley I will cook separately so that we could add it in as we eat the soup, because otherwise the soup will dry up on us, as it usually does. So I will be back. So I've also added in 2 bay leaves, which I forgot to mention about before, because I almost forgot that I was putting them in myself until I went and looked in the cabinet. And I gave a good sprinkling of this bacon seasoning. I am probably going to also add in some tomato paste. Please bear with me because I do things on the fly. I just cook. I'm not, as I said in past videos, not really a recipe person. And when things occur to me as I'm cooking, I just add them. But if I add anything else, I will let you know. Okay, I'm back. So here's the soup. I did simmer it for a good hour and a half. And I added in a 28-ounce can of these crushed tomatoes. It smells heavenly. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add in this parsley. We like parsley in our soup. When I have it fresh in the house, I always add it. Okay, so that's in. And now the next thing that's going to go in are these cut up potatoes. So I would say now that it's come to a boil, I'm just going to let it cook for probably, I don't know, it can't take more than 15 minutes for these potatoes to cook in boiling soup, I wouldn't think. But if you're going to make soup with potatoes in it, just, you know how to judge whether or not they're cooked. You pull one out and you see if it's soft and you're good to go. Now back here, put this down. Oops. That's telling me the barley's done, which I already tasted it and shut it off. So this is, I cooked 1 cup of barley in 2.5 cups of water. And I let it simmer on the stove for 45 minutes. So that's ready to add to the soup when we're ready to have it. So that's my soup. And I think we're going to really enjoy it. I'll be back. My goodness, I cannot wait to dig into this soup. The whole house smells absolutely delicious. There's nothing like a really nice, good homemade meal, is there? So in here, I don't know if you can see, there's the barley that I had added in. And then over top of that, I put half of my second Healthy Extra A, which is I decided to go with the feta tonight, and some more black, freshly ground black pepper. And I am off to enjoy this now. I cannot tell you. Thank you so much, Nikki, for inspiring me to make my own version of beef barley soup. Yum. Well, hello there, YouTube family. I am back to close out Wednesday, yesterday's day of eating. And guess what? You can see it's dark out. It is after 8 p.m. on Thursday night. I just don't know where the time goes anymore. I am just getting worse and worse at managing my time, let me tell you. This should have been done this morning so that I could put the video up by this afternoon, which has obviously not happened. Anyway, let me move on with things so that I don't leave anything out. Even though I am writing everything down, look. I've already started. I'm doing Thursday because today's Thursday, and that'll be the end of my first worksheet officially since I've even ever done Slimming World. I have never completed a week worksheet, so I'm very proud of myself. I did not even look at the sheet for Body Magic, but hopefully next week I will also be doing that religiously. So the soup came out great. Really, really enjoyed it. Nice, healthy, hearty soup. One thing I would consider doing next time is adding in some cauliflower rice to bulk it up even more with speed, because the more speed we eat on plan, and this goes for Weight Watchers too, the more speed vegetables in terms of vegetables that are low in carbohydrate, the better it is for you to lose weight, because it fills you up and then you add protein to it and all of that, and you just stay fuller for longer. Anyway, so really, really enjoyed the soup. And let me see. I didn't really eat very much yesterday. I did eat 2 bowls of it though, but I did not eat the other half of my second Healthy Extra A. Didn't add any more cheese. But what I did do is have 2 slices of the 647 Healthy Extra B compliant bread. And so I noted that down, and I had 2.5 cents worth of the full sugar jam, the apricot jam. And I believe I made an error, not that it matters now. When I closed out Tuesday's video, I should have said 7 cents. I ended on 7 cents, which is still fine. I mean, it's under 15. It's between 5 and 10. because I don't think I noted. I did note it down now that I ate jam on that bread. But, oh no, I didn't. Actually, I am wrong. Scratch that, but don't even pay attention because that was another day. I used that bread on that day for a sandwich, I think. Yes, I did. So that's why there was no jam on the bread and I didn't eat it. So my sins were what they said they were. Sorry. Leave it to me. I am just getting worse and worse by the minute, aren't I, though? Okay, so yesterday I ended on 2.5 cents. Very happy about that. Very content. Had a really good day of eating. And I must tell you that I am going to tell you about this week's Dare to Dream, the beginning of week 4 on the Body Slims program, which I joined or I signed up for. And I guess maybe I'll just talk about it. I did make some notes so that I could try to sound coherent when I explain it. So this week is called Dare to Dream. So Gerard Moran is explaining in this this week's seminar that we can all have an extraordinary life. It is ours for the taking. And I kind of, in listening to him, have to agree with him on that, based on how he explained it. So ordinary people doing extra things, right? More than, let's say, you look at someone who's very successful in life and you say, gee, how did they get there? You know, why couldn't I get there? And then if you really delve into how they got there, chances are they did some extra things that maybe you and I didn't do. So we're all capable of being extraordinary, but in order to be extraordinary, we have to do some extra things. So that made sense to me as well. And that is what the intention of the Body Slims program is. It is to lead toward becoming extraordinary in certain things, which would be eating healthy, getting in your daily body magic, which is what we call in Slimming World. And in doing those things, following the plan, I'm going to talk about it in terms of Slimming World. We'll talk about it in terms of how Gerard Moran and Body Slims, that program talks about it. It comes down to the same thing. If you follow the plan and you do everything you're supposed to, in this case, he's saying listen to him and do the things he's asking within reason of what you're able to do based on what your doctor said was okay, right? You're following the plan 100%. So if we follow our plan, whatever it is, a plan for a career, a plan for getting healthier, a food plan, whatever, if we follow the plan, we'll do the extra things and we'll become extraordinary at those areas of our life, such as you'll become extraordinary in terms of having extraordinary health, being in extraordinary shape, being extraordinarily fit, having extraordinary energy, and having an extraordinary new belief in ourselves. Because most of us who aren't healthy, who have struggles with food, are really not feeling that great about ourselves most of the time. I think you would agree. If we're struggling with finding the right plan, if we're struggling with trying to be successful on a plan in general, is pretty much probably because we're not following the plan. Now, that doesn't mean that the plan is correct for us. We need to find the right plan to follow, whatever that plan is going to be, in order to do the extra things that will make us have extraordinary results. I think that's what we're all looking for, right? I know I am. So that leads us to having a new belief in ourselves. We will become confident. We will be happier. We will have faith in ourselves because we've shown ourselves that we're capable of doing X, Y, and Z, all the extras, right, to get the results that we want. Does that make sense? It made a lot of sense to me. And I'm ad-libbing this. Most of this is my words. Let's see. Now, the other flip side of it is that when we do become extraordinary at certain things and get extraordinary results, we also are faced with the challenges that some of those things bring. We have to keep it up. We have to be responsible to ourselves for doing that. That could be challenging, but it doesn't mean that we can't do it. But it is something to think about as well, because that's what we talk about in maintenance. And again, this is me taking and expressing to you what my thoughts are based on what I'm listening to in the seminar. I'm looking at it as, okay, the challenge now is, and I think we all agree, that once we get to our target weight, our goal weight, what happens? We start to feel very challenged. at maintenance, right? Maintenance is another tough thing. It's a whole nother ball of wax, which many people I've heard say, oh, I wish I had that problem. Yeah, I agree. But I've been at maintenance recently, and I stayed there for 6 months, and I sabotaged myself. So it is a challenge. Each part of it has a challenge. So the next part of it, when you do these extraordinary things for yourself, you're going to be faced with maintenance in the case of weight loss and getting healthier, right? As an example. But it can be accomplished in due time. You just have to keep on doing the extraordinary things that got you there. It doesn't just stop there. We have to continue on. We may eat a few more calories or have extra food to maintain our weight, because otherwise we'll keep losing. But it's a balance. Maintaining your weight loss is definitely a balance. It's a different kind of challenge. And in some ways, it's more challenging, having been there myself. I'm speaking from my experience in recent times, which is in the last couple of years or so. Okay, so now also what happens is when you start to do these things that give you extraordinary results, you also become very enthusiastic about other parts of your life. This is already happening to me and I think that it has to do with the whispers, Jer's whispers. I think that they're really positive, and the seminars, and him in general is really having a positive impact on me. I'm not thinking about the scale until like now. Tomorrow's a weigh day for me, because I am speaking to you on Thursday night. So I don't want to eat anything too late tonight. But for me, I wouldn't even be excited about a weigh-in. Like, I'm actually excited about tomorrow. I'm hoping to see good results on the scale. So being enthusiastic also about, like this morning, I just started doing some things that I normally wouldn't do. I would normally feel completely overwhelmed, because I do that to myself. And instead of making this into a big mountainous thing, I just went into a cabinet and started cleaning it out and straightening it, not thinking about having to do the whole kitchen, or 2 kitchens in my case. I just started to breeze through and, let me get rid of this. Tomorrow's garbage. Let me get rid of that. Yeah, this isn't good anymore. That is not me, but that is me now. And I think that it's really because of the combination of Slim Win Chat and listening to the ladies, finally, 3 of them, consistently listening to them, which is Joy Clark, which is Stephanie Nutter, and Kelsey, am I saying it right? Charmling. Those 3 ladies finally got my thick head onto the right road. And I started to just put my thoughts aside and listen to them. I put it, and which is what Mr. Moran is saying. Do what I'm telling you to do and stop doing the pick and choose thing. So I did it in a different way than he probably had planned for me, but either way, it's working. So I don't know if any of that I just said to you made sense, but I am feeling very enthusiastic about things that have nothing to do with weight loss. And it's like never, at least not in the near future, have I ever felt this way about these things that I've been doing lately, which is mostly housework and things like that, straightening, organizing. That normally, just because of my handicapping conditions, makes me very upset and overwhelmed. Okay, so taking action. In order for you and I to be successful, we have to do certain things in a certain way 100% of the time to really achieve success. We have to shoot for that. It's like kind of like shoot for the stars and land on the moon attitude, instead of saying, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that. We start off by saying we're going to do 100% of everything in our mind's eye anyway, in our heart of hearts. And we may not get 100% of everything done, but we may get 80% and great results. Anyway, we're going to get results. As long as we keep trying to do the 100%, you get what I'm trying to say? Does that make sense? I hope it does, because I feel really, really good about all of these things that I'm telling you about right now. So I hope that it will encourage you, because my channel is about my journey, but I'm also here trying to encourage other people to do better for themselves, because you're all worthy. We are all worth it. Okay. I'm sorry if you don't feel that way about yourself, but I feel that way about you. And I guarantee you most people in your life feel that way about you. You're important. But unfortunately, they can't do it for us. We have to do it, right? I say this all the time. So if we could suspend the negative attitude, as Jer says, toward ourselves, because we're afraid of letting go, we'll stop holding ourselves back. Because sometimes it's also like scary to be successful, don't you think? It could be scary. It's different. People genuinely do not like change. As much, even when we really, really want to change, underneath it all, we're afraid of it. And that fear keeps us from actually doing the change or achieving the change that we really, really want. So can you imagine if it's something that we're hemming and hawing about, like weight loss? You know, we really, really want it, but we really like the cake, right? We really like the cookies. At least I do. Love the pizza. Love the French fries. So it's kind of, even sometimes the fear, I felt myself in the last year, the fear of letting go of the weight. It's making me feel like I might be more vulnerable. And that's ridiculous. That's totally not true. It's not being realistic at all. But emotionally, we definitely could feel that way. I bet. I mean, at least I can speak for myself. So, moving on. We're almost done. Being brave. We have to be brave. And this makes a lot of sense to me too, because there is an element of bravery to when we want to do something, we want to achieve something, we have to be brave about taking the steps to get there, because it can be very scary. And we also have to let go of old ideas. That's not an easy thing to do. Even if we want to do it, it does not mean it's going to be easy for us to do, especially as we age. Like taking myself, for example, it was a whole lot easier for me to let go of old ideas when they weren't so old. Now, a lot of my ideas are old because I'm old. So change as we get older can be much more difficult. And especially when the work is hard. And weight loss is hard work. It's tough on a good day. So being brave is definitely part of doing the extra things to end up with extraordinary results. So doing the program his way. So his way is for his plan. You know, Slimming World has their way. We're all doing something. We're supposed to all be doing something somebody else's way, which leads me to the name of my channel. It's My Way, W-E-I-G-H, because it's My Way, W-A-Y. Because some things I have to do my way. And I think that if you're going to live with a plan, you have to make sure that that plan is going to suit you, that you're going to be able to continue on with it and sustain it, even when you get to maintenance phase. Because maintenance phase doesn't mean you go back to your old ways of eating. So whatever plan you're on, you need to be doing some form of it in the maintenance phase. And if you don't, then you won't be in maintenance phase very long. And that's usually what happens when what we call yo-yo dieting, which I've done many times in my life, most of my life. So the next thing is, one choice can change everything. So think about the choices that we make every day. Think about the choice to eat the ice cream tonight and the cookies, right? Think about the choice not to eat them and what that could lead to. Just starting one day at a time. I'm not going to have this today. I'll put it off to tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, we say we'll put it off to the next day. And a week passes, we've gone a week without it, and maybe we've even forgotten about it. And look at the difference that can make in our lives. Just that alone. So, things to think about. The impact that one choice can have on us. And the positive impact. Not just negative impact. And again, going back to the mix and pick. Today I'm going to do this. Tomorrow I'm going to do that. I've done it. You've seen me go from calorie counting to Weight Watchers to Slimming World and back around again 10 times by now. Since I stopped Nutrisystem. So I am one to talk about that because I've been mixing and picking. And now I'm not mixing and picking anymore. I'm doing Slimming World and I'm finding myself becoming very confident in being able to do this as a lifestyle because I already feel like it is. And I am hoping tomorrow is going to give me a good result on the scale. We shall see. And if it doesn't, guess what? I'll start again and continue, I should say. Not start again, just continue. So let's all shoot for the stars. And if we land on the moon, we will be celebrating that together. Okay, YouTube family, does that sound like a plan? Let's just shoot for those stars. And on that note, I'm going to wish you and your family many blessings. I hope that you're all in good health and doing well. I'm going to hope for you that you continue on your weight loss journey. And if you're not finding a plan, I will hope for you that you are going to eventually, very soon, find one that you can live with and feel successful with, because that's really important. And I'm going to say goodbye for now. I'm going to thank you very much for having listened to me go on and on. But this was something that I wanted to talk to you about because I really related to this week's. And he said we would. And I wanted to share that with you because it really is relatable to all of us, I think, who are on this journey. And we are in this together. So for now, I will send you these big hugs. I will thank you again. And I will say goodbye for now. And I'll see you soon.